closely?
Well, yes, indeed. We'll bring you all of those matters. But there's this other matter when the presidential spokesperson did issue this particular statement. That's our jury signing the statement about the Police Service Commission.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a busy 24 hours.
I know, I tell you. So the title of this was President Tinubu appoints new leadership for Police Service Commission and Nigeria Police Trust Fund. So it did say the president approved the appointment of DIG Hashim Argungu, retired, as the chairman of the Police Service Commission, that's the PSC. The president has also approved the appointment of Chief Onyemuche Namani as secretary and DIG Taiwo Lakan, retired, as member of the commission. He goes on to say that, well, he just highlights all of those things. But that's not all there is to this. I mean, it may appear as though it's just a straightforward thing. I know, business as usual, go on with that one. But at the moment, there's this section 1551C, which talks about the tenure of office of members. It says, 1, a person who is a member of any of the bodies established as aforesaid shall, subject to the provisions of this part, remain a member thereof. C, in the case of a person who is a member otherwise than an ex-officio member, or by virtue of his having previously held an office for a period of 5 years from date of his appointment. And then when it comes to do with removal of such members, section 1571 says, subject to the provisions of subsection 3 of this section, a person holding any of the offices to which this section applies may only be removed from that office by the president acting on an address supported by 2/3 majority of the Senate, praying that he be so removed for inability to discharge the functions of the office, whether arising from infirmity of mind or body or any other cause, or for, look at that part, misconduct. So what does this all mean? Let's just go ahead and get a brief explanation from Mr. Onoha Franklin, who is a legal practitioner, to help us shed light on those provisions of the law. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program today. So could you just tell us, that announcement by the president about the replacement of the PSC head, is it in line with the laws?
Chamberlain, thank you so much for inviting me to the program. It's been quite a long time. But let me go straight to the point. Now, let me start by saying that the Constitution is very clear. And Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution made the Constitution to be supreme over every other thing. And if the clear provisions of the Constitution is not followed, what it means is that that act is null and void. And everybody must respect the provisions of the Constitution. Yeah, so
has it not been followed? Has it not been followed in this case?
No, it has not been followed. From what you read, number one, Arase was just appointed by the former administration last year. So Arase has just probably just few weeks, less than 1 month. And the position is tenured for 5 years. And from section 157, sub 1, just like you read, if the president wants to remove him from office, the provision is very clear on what the president should do. And you know, he cannot just wake up and say remove him from office, even if, you know, just like that. It must be as a result of incapacity due to ill health or misconduct.
Okay, so about that part.
About that part, yeah, I was going to get that, because there is a report from the ICIR, the International Center for Investigative Reporting, where they had petitioned the president complaining about Mr. Solomon Arase's behavior. They had accused him of harassing their journalist. Are you aware of this story?
Okay, I think I read about it sometime, but that is not the issue. that an organization wrote a petition against the former IG, Solomon Arase, is not the issue. The issue is if the president is relying on that provision, on that letter to remove him, then he should have addressed the National Assembly, the Senate, and obtained two-thirds majority to remove him. So what it means is that if I don't like the face of anybody that is holding any statutory position, I can just wake up and write a petition, and the president will just act on it. There's a reason why the Constitution is very specific on some of these issues.
There's also the fact about because the journalists who they accused Mr. Arase of harassing had written a story that was pretty damning. I'm sure you're aware of this story that had to do with a police barracks right here in Abuja. And of course, a lot of conversations have gone on around that particular story. So could it be a culmination of both the accusations that the ICIR made against Arase on that story and the harassment of their journalists afterwards? Do you think this could have played some part in this?
Well, I will go back to what I said before. No matter how much accusation has been laid against Solomon Arase, the president has an obligation under our Constitution to go to the Senate and say, Senate, this is the reason why I want to remove this man.
All right, Mr. Onoha Franklin, we do thank you for talking to us and shedding light on those professions. We're really out of time on this one. Thank you for talking, at least shedding light on those provisions.